않은 채로 눈을 뜨게 해줘 전부 너라면 yes I do.
Hi, this theory's kept me up all night, but finally I've come up with something that actually makes sense, so I hope you guys enjoy. So the very beginning of this theory is the Find You MV, where all 7 members are friends and they're having a perfect life. But everything changes when Hyungwon and his family get into a car crash, and Hyungwon's dad, who was the timekeeper, dies. Fast forward a few weeks and we see Hyungwon open the box of belongings from his father that contains 3 watches. The members of Monsta X have come to spend the night at Hyungwon's house, but Hyungwon starts getting these strange visions that are snippets of the future. He becomes curious about the watch inside of his dad's box and changes the number on it from 2047 to past 4000. Because of this, he gets thrown into the absence of time, which is represented by water. It's worth noting that in the Monsta X theory, water represents the flow of time, as you've probably seen it in a number of other music videos. Wano is the first member to wake up and look for Hyungwon. Soon the rest of the members wake up and they all look for him together. They found the box on Hyungwon's desk. However, we can see that both of the watches that Hyungwon left behind are now missing. Hyungwon, still stuck in the absence of time, has learned to control the watch and skip between different timelines. However, he still can't return to his own. He's also learned to create more of the watches, as we can later see in the Dramarama MV. This is where things start to get interesting and the Dramarama MV comes into play. Here we can see Wano is in the year 2047. Yes, the same year that the watch was already set to before Hyungwon even touched it. Throughout the video, we can see Wano use his watch, however, we never see Hyungwon give it to him. This is why I think Wano knew about the watches before even Hyungwon did, and he was the one who took the watches from the box, so the other members wouldn't find out about them. I also believe he was given the watch by Hyungwon's dad and that they were working together. Hyungwon only gives watches to 2 people, Kihyun and Minhyuk. He gives Kihyun a watch so he can go back and save his best friend Juhan, who died in 2015. Unfortunately, Kihyun is unable to save Juhan no matter how many times he tries, but he runs into Hyungwon and asks him for help. Remember, because this is a different timeline, Hyungwon doesn't exist in this one and Kihyun only recognizes him as the person who gave him the watch. Hyungwon's way of fixing this is switching Kihyun and Juhan's timelines. However, it backfires and this time Kihyun dies. During the switch, Juhan is briefly given the watch before being thrown back into his own timeline. Back in his own timeline without the watch, Juhan is confused about what just happened and begins to research time travel on his own. Meanwhile, Minhyuk goes back in time a few months to when he was separated from his older brother Changhyun. Suddenly, Changhyun appears and somehow he already knows that the time police are after Minhyuk, so he grabs his hand and they run away together to hide. Minhyuk tries to switch the watch back to 2017 and grabs Changhyun's hand to take him with him. However, Changhyun lets go of Minhyuk's hand last second. Minhyuk goes back to 2017 alone and realizes his watch is broken because of a bullet. Now going back to Wano, he frequently uses the watch to spar with Shownubebe in 2017. I'm not sure why he did this, but maybe something happened to the original timeline's Shownubebe. Later we see that his watch is taken away by the time police. This happens in Kihyun's timeline because we later see him with Kihyun in Destroyer. What he was doing in Kihyun's timeline, I have no idea. It's been a year. Wano is still missing Shownubebe and Kihyun is still trying to figure out why he couldn't save Juhan. They've become close friends and come up with the equation x equals 4155102m, which is just Monsta X's debut date, but backwards. In Minhyuk's timeline, he's become good friends with Shownubebe but still misses his older brother Changhyun. He still has the broken watch as well. Meanwhile, Juhan survived his car crash after coming back from Kihyun's timeline with his memories intact. However, by surviving, he created a brand new timeline in which Kihyun is dead instead. Juhan and Changhyun have become friends and they started researching time travel together. In 2017 of this timeline, the time police are after Changhyun for teaming up with Juhan. That's why the time police are already after Changhyun when Minhyuk warps back in time. Changhyun lets go of Minhyuk's hand because he knows there could be trouble if he goes to a timeline that isn't his own. After Minhyuk warps back, Changhyun is killed by the time police. In a brand new timeline that's the same as the previous, except Minhyuk does not warp into it, Changkyun survives. Now it's 2018 of everyone's timeline, and suddenly everyone hears something unexpected.
Time warp is not allowed. Do not take any watches or sleep together.
Then we see Hyungwon fall back into the water, which represents the absence of time which he's been trapped in all these years. Hyungwon's closed eyes means that he's now trapped and lost control of time. After that, everyone goes looking for Hyungwon, who they know is the timekeeper. On the way, they start seeing strange things and realize that time has stopped. They all meet up at a train station, which is the center of the absence of time, and also not a literal place because they're all in different timelines. Because Hyungwon is forcefully bringing 3 timelines together in the absence of time, the very concept of time is becoming irrelevant and causing chaos. Fortunately, we have Ki-hyun, who knows about x equals 4155102m, which will solve this problem. So, one by one, all the members jump onto the train, which represents the place where Hyungwon is trapped in. By doing this, they execute the equation since all the members of Monsta X are together in one timeline again. Now, all 4 timelines have come together and become one, where Monsta X is finally whole again.
얼굴도 성격도 모두 다르지만 너희가 어디에 있어도 우리는 만날 수 있어.
Now, this is the end of the Time Warp story and the beginning of the 7 Deadly Sins story from the Are You There and We Are Here eras. However, I'll leave that story for my next video. There also were quite a few things that didn't really match up with my theory or that I didn't understand, so if you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments and let me know what you think.